Hey everyone, welcome to the second pattern in the What the Hook series. This month's prompts that we chose out at the beginning of the month were a little monster, a shell or a clam, a hat, and we threw in Pride as a theme because Pride month is coming up in June. And what I came up with were these little Pride monsters here. I wanted to do more Pride colours, but unfortunately I didn't have the time to do any more little monsters. So as you can see, I've got the monster, the Pride theme, the hat, and I did have something to do with the shell. I actually made a little shell bag. So it's supposed to be like a little messenger bag that sat over the monster. And originally I was going to use it to make a little pride flag, and they could carry their own little pride flag in the bag. But I didn't end up liking how it looked because of the way the arms turned out. So if you put it under there, it doesn't really sit very well. So for now, I'm ditching the clam. I did make it, but I'm ditching it for the pattern. However, if anyone would actually like this pattern, just let me know in the comments below and I can do a quick video for that. But for now, let's get on with the pattern. To make this pattern, you're going to need both a 3 and a 3.5mm hook, scissors, stitch markers, a needle, pins, stuffing, yarn in colours of your choice, as well as a pair of safety eyes in either 14 or 16mm. This pattern is actually crocheted in one piece, or well the body is. So what we're going to be doing is crocheting each of the legs, each of the arms and the mouth separately, and then we're going to be crocheting them together to create the entire body. So for that, you're going to need to grab your 3.5mm hook and whatever colour you're going to be crocheting the body in. We're going to begin by making a magic circle, and then we're going to crochet 8 single crochet in the magic circle. Round 2 is going to be 8 increases, which will bring us up to 16 stitches. Round 3 is 1 single crochet and then an increase repeated 8 times. Round 4 is just 24 single crochet. Round 5 is 2 single crochet and an increase repeated 8 times. At the end of round 5, you should have 32 stitches in your round, and then rounds 6, 7 and 8 are just going to be 32 single crochet each. When you've finished round 8, you can slip stitch to finish off if you want to, but I'm not going to do that because we're going to be needing each of our stitches later and I don't want to confuse myself. So just remember, if you do slip stitch to finish off, the slip stitch is not going to count as a stitch in the round later on. So you need to cut just a short tail because we're not going to be sewing this on, we're going to be crocheting it together, and then pull straight up with your hook or slip stitch if you want to. And then the mouth is done, we can set that aside and we're going to go on to the arms. You're going to need to make 2 arms, and like with the mouth, we're going to be using our 3.5mm hook. This time we're going to begin with 6 single crochet in a magic circle. Ladies and gentlemen. Round 2 is 6 increases. Round 3 is 3 single crochet followed by an increase repeated 3 times, and that should bring us up to 15 stitches. Yes. Rounds 4 all the way through to 12 are just going to be 15 single crochet each. When you're finished with round 12, like we did with the mouth, you can either pull straight up with your hook or slip stitch to finish. Then we're just going to cut a short tail and set that aside for now and go on to the legs. When it comes to the legs, we're going to be making 2 of those as well. However, what we're going to do is make the first one and then, whoa, come back, set that aside. And then we're going to make the second. The difference with the second one is we're not going to cut the yarn at the end. We're going to leave it attached to our hook, because from that point we're going to start crocheting the body, and then we're slowly going to join all these other pieces into that. So we're going to begin the leg off with 6 single crochet in a magic circle. Round 2 is 6 increases. Round 3 is 3 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated 3 times. Round 4 is going to be worked entirely into the back loop, and we're going to do 15 single crochet. So again, just working in the back loop only. And then rounds 5 through to 7 are just going to be 15 single crochet. When you finished round 7 of the second leg, we're just going to set that aside for a moment. And then we're going to bring in all our other pieces, because what we're going to do is we're going to take these tail ends and we're going to weave them in to hide them, like we've done for the first leg here. So all you're going to do is grab your needle, thread the tail end through that, and then work the tail back inside your piece and through the backs of the stitches. Just for 2 or 3 stitches will do. And then all these pieces are ready to be crocheted into the body. So we're going to grab our leg that is still attached to our hook and our yarn. And we're going to then bring in the second leg. What you're going to do is line this second leg up with the first, so they're together like so. And then you're going to pick a stitch on the second leg. It doesn't matter which stitch, but I'm going to go with stitch number 1. And you're going to go into that stitch from the back and push your needle through to the front, like this. So starting from inside the leg and working outside the leg. From there, you're going to go straight into the next stitch on the leg that's on your hook. So as you can see, the yarn is here. I'm going to work into the next free one. And then once you've gone through both stitches, so 1 on each leg, we're going to single crochet. So you're going to yarn over, pull through both stitches, and then yarn over to finish the single crochet. We're going to do that twice more, so we're going to go into the next stitch of the second leg. And remember, at this point, if you slip stitch to finish, we're not counting the slip stitch as a stitch in this round. So if you used stitch number 1 to first go into, like I did, the next little stitch you see may be the slip stitch, so we're going to skip that and then work into stitch number 15. Once you've gone through the second stitch on this free leg, we're going to go into the next stitch of the leg that's on our hook. Again, single crochet. And then once more, next stitch in the free leg, next stitch in the leg that was on our hook, and single crochet. So we've joined the legs together for 3 stitches now. The next stitch we're going to make is going to be in the next free stitch of the leg that was originally on our hook. So we're going to go into here, single crochet. Now this single crochet that we've just done is going to become stitch number 1 of round 8. Now originally we had 15 single crochet in each leg when they were separate, and because we've single crocheted them together for 3 stitches, that's going to reduce the amount of stitches in each leg to 12. So you should have 12 free stitches in the first leg and 12 free stitches in the second leg. So they're the stitches we're going to be working into. Keep in mind as you start crocheting round 8 that we've already done the first single crochet, because that was the one we worked into after we joined the legs together. So you're going to do 3 single crochet, 1 increase, and repeat that 6 times. Now I've just finished the 3rd increase from round 8. The next stitch I want to work into is going to be the first free stitch from the second leg here. So if you look closely, you can see, hopefully, where the next 2 stitches here of each leg are joined together. We're going to skip over those and work into the next free stitch. Round 9 begins with 2 single crochet, and then we're going to do an increase in the following stitch. After that, we're going to do 4 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated 5 times. When you finish that 5th increase, you should have 2 stitches left in your round, and we're just going to single crochet into each of those. Round 10 is 5 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated 6 times. After round 10, you should have 42 stitches in your round, and then rounds 11, 12 and 13 are just going to be 42 single crochet each. Round 14 is 5 single crochet, 1 decrease, repeated 6 times. So we're going to begin with the 5 single crochet. 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then we're going to do an invisible decrease. To do that, you're going to go under the front loops of the next 2 stitches with your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through both of those front loops, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops on your hook. You're going to repeat that pattern of 5 single crochet, 1 decrease 5 more times, or 6 in total. Round 15 is where we're going to join the mouth, so we're going to begin round 15 by doing 11 single crochet. And 11. Set that down for now, and you're going to grab your mouth. The first thing you want to do is fold your mouth in half, because we're going to be crocheting it on like that. And to do that, we're going to be working in both sides or both halves of the mouth. We're going to be single crocheting the mouth to the body for 16 stitches. Now, because we have 32 in the entire mouth, we're going to be folding that in half and then counting, for the sake of sewing it together, counting the pairs on either side, so these here, these here, these here, as 1 stitch to go through. Now, if that doesn't make much sense, I'm going to show you what I mean. So we're going to grab our body again and our hook, and I'm starting from the end of the mouth, so I have stitch number 1 on here, and it would have been stitch number 32 on here. So what we're going to do, similarly to how we did the toes, we're going to go through stitch number 1 of the mouth, and instead of joining that straight to the body, what we're going to do is maneuver our work around so we can push our hook out of stitch 30. So we've gone through 2 stitches on the mouth, the stitch that's on this half that's facing us and the stitch that's on the back half that's facing away from us. Once you've gone through those 2 stitches, it's at this point that we're going to go through the body. So the next free stitch on the body, you're going to work through that, and then we're going to single crochet. So yarn over, and you're going to pull through all 3 of those stitches. So the stitch from the body, the stitch at the back of the mouth, and the stitch at the front of the mouth. Once you've done that, yarn over and finish the single crochet, and that's our first joining stitch. Now we're just going to repeat that again. So this time we're going to go into stitch 2 at the front, stitch 31 at the back, and then the next free stitch of the body. And again, we're going to go through stitch 3 at the front of the mouth, stitch 30 at the back of the mouth, and then into the next free stitch of the body, and single crochet. You're going to continue this all the way along the mouth, and because the entire mouth had 32 single crochet and we folded it in half, that should give us 16 single crochet to work with. So to join the entire mouth to the body is 16 single crochet. And 16. And then we're just going to finish off round 15 with 9 single crochet. So at the end of round 15, we should have 36 stitches in our round. We should have the 11 original single crochet that we did, the 16 joining single crochet that we did, and the 9 single crochet that we finished with. Rounds 16 and 17 are each going to be 36 single crochet. Round 18 begins with 2 single crochet, and then we're going to follow that with a decrease, and then repeat 4 single crochet, 1 decrease 5 times, and finish the round with 2 single crochet. Rounds 19 to 21 are going to be 30 single crochet each. Round 22 is 3 single crochet and a decrease repeated 6 times. In round 23, we're going to be joining the arms, so we're going to begin with 7 single crochet. And 7. And then like we did with the legs, we're going to be joining the arms to the body for 3 stitches. So grab your first arm, and then we're going to go into a stitch, doesn't matter which stitch. And again, like with the legs, if you slip stitch to finish off, you're going to skip the slip stitch at this point, so it doesn't count as a stitch in the round. 1, and next stitch and into the body, 2, into the next stitch of the arm and into the next stitch of the body for 3. In the next free stitch of the body, we're going to continue single crocheting, and this time we're going to do 9 single crochet. So we've done 1, 2, and 9. Bring in the second arm, and again we're going to join them together for 3 stitches. So go into a stitch from the arm, then go into the next free stitch on the body, single crochet, into stitch of the arm, next stitch in the body, 2, and last one into the arm stitch, stitch from the body, single crochet. And this should leave you with 2 free stitches left in the round. We're just going to single crochet into each of those, 1 and 2. So now with the additional stitches from each arm, we should have 42 free stitches in total, and round 24 is just going to be 42 single crochet. As you're single crocheting this round, remember at each join, so here and here and the same on the other sides, to skip over the stitches that are joined together and only work into the free stitches on either side. After round 24, take out your hook and secure your end. And what we're going to do now is begin stuffing. So we're going to stuff the legs, most of the body, and also stuff the lower parts of the arms.
Ladies and gentlemen.
When you're finished, we're going to continue with round 25, which begins with 7 single crochet. And 7, and then we're going to repeat 2 single crochet, 1 decrease 3 times. After that 3rd decrease, we're going to do another 9 single crochet. And then after that 9th single crochet, we're going to do another repeat of 2 single crochet, 1 decrease, done 3 times. And then to finish round 25, we're just going to do 2 single crochet. 1 and 2. Round 26 is 36 single crochet. Round 27 is 2 single crochet and a decrease, then 4 single crochet, 1 decrease repeated 5 times, and then just finish off with 2 single crochet. Round 28 is 30 single crochet. Round 29 is 3 single crochet and a decrease repeated 6 times. When we're finished with round 29, we're going to add the safety eyes. So grab whatever pair you're using, and then we're going to insert them between rounds 26 and 27. But before we do that, just flip the mouth right side up, so it should be sticking up like that. That way, if you think your eyes are sitting a little bit too low, you can adjust the round placement and move them up a little bit. So we finished at round 29, so I'm going to count down to round 26. And then I'm going to place them in. And I'm placing them 3 stitches apart, so count out 3. And then in the 4th stitch, so there's 3 between them, we're going to place the second eye. If you like how they look, go ahead and put the backs on. But if you'd like to change them up first, you totally can. And then once that's done, we're going to, oh, there we go, we're going to add the rest of the stuffing. Round 30 begins with 1 single crochet, and then we're going to do a decrease, Then repeat 2 single crochet, 1 decrease 5 times. There should be 1 stitch left in the round after that. You're just going to single crochet into that stitch. Round 31 is 1 single crochet, 1 decrease repeated 6 times. And then round 32, which is our final round for the body, is just 6 decreases. Finish off, we're just going to cut a short tail and then pull up with our hooks. Grab your needle next, and we're going to thread that tail end through the needle. To close the hole, you're going to pass your needle from back to front underneath the front loops of the last 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then pull firmly on the yarn so the hole closes up. Then you're just going to insert the needle straight back through the center of the last round and weave it somewhere out the body, it doesn't matter where. Just pull on that yarn until the little lump lays flat, and then to finish, just continue weaving the needle through the body so the yarn end is secure. And then we're just going to snip off any excess, and that is the body of our little monster finished. The next thing we're going to make are the teeth. So for that you're going to need your 3mm hook and whatever colour yarn you've chosen to use. So we're going to begin by making a slip knot and then chaining 3. 1, 2 and 3. In the second chain from the hook, we're going to do a picot stitch. So to begin that, we're just going to single crochet. And then we're going to chain 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. What we're going to do next is put a single crochet into the back bump of the first chain. If you're not sure what the back bump is, it's actually this little bump of yarn at the back here. So if you look at your stitches from front on, you will have the back loops and the front loops visible. If you turn those over, you should see a little bump of yarn behind each of the chains. We want to work into this of the first chain that we made. So we're going to go into that back bump, single crochet once more, and then to finish off we're just going to put a single crochet in that very first chain that we made. Whoops, getting a bit tangled there. And that's all we have to do to make the teeth. So you're going to cut a tail for sewing and then pull up with your hook or pull the yarn through. And I'm going to be making 2 teeth, but you can make as many as you like, 4, 6, whatever, entirely up to you. And once that's done, we're going to go on to making the hat. Next up, we've got the top hat, and for that you're going to need your 3mm hook and 2 colours of yarn, whatever colours you'd like them to be. 1 for sort of the main body of the hat and 1 for the stripe. And we're going to begin by putting 6 single crochet in a magic circle. Round 2 is going to be 6 increases. Round 3 is going to be 1 single crochet, 1 increase repeated 6 times. After round 3, you should have 18 stitches in your round, and then round 4 is going to be worked entirely into the back loop. So the back loop is the part of the stitch that's furthest away from you, so this part at the back here. And round 4 is 18 single crochet in the back loop only.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Both rounds 5 and 6 are going to be 18 single crochet. Round 7 is going to be an invisible decrease followed by 16 single crochet. Rounds 8 and 9 are each 17 single crochet. At the end of round 9, we're going to be changing colours. So for the last stitch in the round, I'm actually not going to finish it. I'm going to go into the stitch, yarn over and pull through, but instead of completing the single crochet, I'm going to leave it with 2 loops on my hook and then bring in my second colour. So for me, that's going to be red. I'm going to take that red yarn, line it up behind the last stitch, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through and finish the crochet in that colour. The single crochet in that colour. Round 10 is going to be crocheted in your new colour, and it's going to be 15 single crochet and 1 decrease. And I'm going to cut my black yarn so I can bring it back in later, and I will be crocheting over both of these ends to secure them. Round 11 is going to be 16 single crochet in the new colour. Now at the end of round 11, I'm going to be switching colours back to my original colour, so the black. And I'm just going to repeat the colour change method that I did before. I'm going to go into the stitch, yarn over and pull through, so I've got 2 loops on my hook. Bring back in the original colour, and I'm going to line that up behind the stitch, yarn over, pull through and finish the single crochet in that colour. Round 15 in the original colour is also going to be 16 single crochet, and again I'm going to be working over the ends to make sure they stay put. Round 16 is going to be worked in the front loop only, so that's the part of the stitch that is closest to us. And we're going to do 7 single crochet, 1 increase repeated twice. And again, we're just working in the front loop only. And our final round, round 17, is going to be 8 single crochet, 1 increase repeated twice. I'm just going to slip stitch to finish off. And if you would like to sew the hat on, which I'm going to do, you're going to need to leave a tail for sewing. But if you'd rather have the hat be detachable, you can just cut a short tail and then weave that in to hide it. After we have all the pieces crocheted, it's time to put our little monsters together. So I'm going to begin by sewing the teeth to the back of the mouth. I've only got the 2 here, but if you've got 4 or 6 or whatever, go ahead and place them on the mouth. And I'm not going to be using pins for this part, but you can if you want to. I'm just going to thread my tail, thread my tail end through the needle. And then I'm going to line up my tooth where I want it. And sew it on. When you're done, just weave the tail end in to hide it. And I'm just going to weave it through the back of the mouth here. This tail end that's left over from the slip knot, I'm just going to weave that in too. And then when the first one's done, I'm just going to repeat the process on the second tooth. And then just continue that for however many teeth you have. When you've finished sewing on all your teeth, what you can do is take a length of yarn in the body colour and sew the mouth to the rest of the body, but I find that's not really necessary. The mouth tends to stay put, so that's an option for anyone who wants to go that way, but yeah, I reckon the mouth's okay as is. Next step is to add the hair, and this is where the pride colours come in. So for me, I've chosen to do the trans pride colours, so I'm going with the pale blue, the pale pink, and I'm counting the white from the body as part of the flag colours. So what you're going to do with whatever colours you've chosen to use is, where's the end of my yarn? Right there. You're going to cut a length of yarn between about 7 and 10 centimetres. And the amount you're going to cut is going to depend on how full you'd like the hair to be. So I'm going to start off with 10 colours each. So I've got 10 strands for each colour, and we're going to see how full that looks, so I may need to cut some more. But all we're going to do is take a single strand and fold it in half, so you're going to have a looped end and an open end. Grab your 3mm hook, and then you're going to insert your hook into the top of the head, so in one stitch and out the other. And I'm starting in the center of the head, so where our final round was, and I'm going to do blue on one side and pink on the other. So once you've pushed your hook through like this, you're going to take the looped end of your strand, and you're going to place it on the head of your hook, and then pull that looped end through the stitch about halfway. So as you can see, I've got the loop end on one side and the open end on the other. I'm going to take the two strands from the open end and I'm going to pass them through the middle of the loop like this, and then you're just going to pull firmly on those ends. And that's how you attach the yarn to the head. So I'm going to continue attaching all my yarn. When that's all finished, you can leave it as is if you like. However, what I'm going to do is grab my wire pet brush and I'm going to brush the strands out so they're nice and fluffy.
Ladies and gentlemen.
When you've completely brushed out the hair, we're going to attach the hat. And the first thing we need to do after we thread the tail end through our needle is weave that tail end back down until we reach the back loops from round 16, because we're going to be using those to sew the hat to the head. So you're just going to, I know it's a bit hard to see with black yarn, but you're going to push the needle or the head of the needle through the backs of the stitches until we reach the front loops. And the next part is the hardest bit. Well, it was for me anyway. It's choosing where you're going to sit the hat, because where you sit the hat depends how the hair will look. So with my rainbow monster here, I brought the hair forward in sort of a little fringe type look. And this one, let's see. I can have it sitting back like that. Or maybe we can split it down the middle. You know, I kind of like that. I think I'm going to go with the split look. So once you've decided where you would like your hat to sit, pin it in place. And then begin sewing. Now with the hat, you don't necessarily need to sew it on for the entire way around with this one. With this one, all I did was put a couple of stitches in at certain points of the hat. So I put 2 stitches here, 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 and here. And it's pretty secure, it's not going anywhere. So you don't necessarily need to sew the whole thing on, but if you would like to, I'm not going to stop you. When you're finished, you're just going to weave the tail end through the body. And snip that off. And just before I finish, I'm going to give the hair another quick brush just to detangle anything that got tangled up while we were sewing. And with that, our pride monster is complete.